Is it ready?
Oh, yeah.
That was not nearly loud enough, but that's okay.
Hey,
everybody, it's a comic book look. It's your boy John on Demand. I don't have a lot of AKAs right now, except for Back in the Flesh, for sure, rocking it out. Here with co-CEO Tom Devine, and of course you guys, KEN is in the cut.
John on Demand via more links than there are in Hyrule. Adjudicate my claim to fame. Putting out this mixtape, let me save the game. Every day my shades and tie match. Listening to rap, ride to work on my drink.
So we are just rocking out. Comic book summer. Got the, is it locust?
The locust, yeah.
The locust,
Cicada.
In the background. Wow, I almost lost my Midwestern card right there.
Not known as cicada. It's another one starting over here. That's
go.
how we roll around here in the 605.
And we're rocking out in Tom's backyard. We had an awesome dinner. We got to catch up, just talk about life, and I got educated about the garden behind me. So mad kudos to the Divine Clan for that.
Yep. Mad kudos to my wife for cooking up such a great meal, giving these guys such a cool tour of the garden. So yeah,
that
was about
we love
meal.
you, Jenna. Sorry I just kicked you out to make this video.
I love you now. Get away.
Yep.
Oh heavens!
But yeah, I mean, isn't it good to be back in the lawn of Riverdale Studios, boys?
It is. It is. It's been too
Time.
long.
Missing Mike, missing Sky. Sorry, boys. But yeah, man, it's great to see you guys and hang out. I mean, it's been so long that we put out a video, but it's also been like so long since we just hung out.
Yeah.
So,
Life
Yep.
gets in the way.
Life has been insane. And what, Skylar's busy like doing Comedy Central.
He's rocking his comedy
tours
stuff.
and businesses and
Exactly.
making it rain. But no, seriously, he's crushing the comedy routine. Just rocking it. I love seeing him out there just networking, shaking hands with different people. And he's wearing our shirt when he does it.
Yep. He loves wearing the comic book look
There you
shirt,
go.
so make sure you check out the comedian Skylar Bolks, your favorite goofy, tall, comic book look member.
And
Absolutely.
Sarge just being awesome as always.
Yeah.
And,
Just living that good dad life, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yay.
But yeah, so we got together and, we saw each other at the comic shop when we were picking up, not this Wednesday, or not today, I should say, but 7 days ago.
Yeah.
And we were chatting it up when The Boys just came out on Amazon Prime, and I was like, oh, The Boys, that comic is insane. And John was like, I didn't even know it was a comic book. So we went over to look for it on the graphic novel shelf. It wasn't there because it was in the adult graphic novel shelf. So then we went over to the adult one and we found it. But I was like, John, you don't need to buy this because I have all of the comics. And so that's what we have right here, except that we couldn't find 1 through 15. So we have 15 through 72 right here. So John's thinks he's gonna be able to lick through these in no time at all. So I figured though, I've read all the comics. These guys, have you finished the season?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they have both finished the season. I've started it. So let's talk about The Boys.
Yes.
So, I mean, first off the bat, what were your first why did you watch it? If you didn't even know it was a comic, what made you watch it?
I think it was the point where we saw a commercial for it, and they were doing an interview with the guy who plays Homelander, and he was talking about it's fun to play a superhero who's not really a hero, and that just spoke to John when it comes to like the
You know how I
Thunderbolts
feel
and Dark
about that.
Avengers. So he was
He's
all
still
over that.
evil.
Still evil. Still got it. Oh man. No, there were just so many cool notes, man. So first of all, bonus trivia for you comic book lookers. If you go back and find an episode where I read an issue of The Boys, like during our long box polls or whatever, and I had thoughts on it, feel free to post that in the comments below. Because I'm going to claim innocence and say I never have, but I'm betting that I have.
I know, I just feel like there's no way I didn't at least talk about it at
I'm
some
sure
point.
you did.
Or have you read it,
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'm sure.
But then,
completely sure
by
that you did.
whatever, years later, that could have been 7 or 8 years ago now at this point.
Totally could have.
So it's like, that's okay if you forgot about this one stupid comic at that time.
But I'm excited to dig in. But the show itself was just fun. It was a modern take on what we're seeing on the big screens, on TV, and everything else. And we were talking about how we were kind of Marvel fatigued. This was a breath of fresh air, like you wouldn't believe. Like you still get that fix, that nerd fix, but not from the Marvel IB.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they took if you guys don't know the story, in the world of The Boys, not comic books, but superheroes are real. Some corporations pay certain ones, some are more famous than others, some take on different roles, and the main one, like the Avengers of the world, is called the Seven, and everybody wants to be a part of the Seven, and that's kind of what this world revolves around. Is it turns out like the Seven are terrible people.
They're jerks and idiots for a good portion of
Yeah.
it.
I enjoyed it though.
Yeah,
I thought it was
totally.
great.
So yeah.
And total blatant ripoff of DC characters.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Deep, love the Deep, their version of Aquaman. I actually liked in the show
Stomach gills.
the stomach gills. I'm like, that's, you know, Aquaman doesn't have gills. He probably should. I like that. That's almost a touch of reality.
Oh, totally. I mean, some of the stuff is so funny, and you know, so what it turns out being throughout this series is like there's this guy who has to kind of keep these superheroes in check almost, or like show the world that these people are not good, and and he is also he's super strong as well, but you know, he's not on the same level as these guys are, but he just uses his brains kind of more than anything. And then he reuses this character, which in the first episode of the which I can't think of his name again, we just were talking about earlier.
Huey.
Huey is like, he thinks he's going to be like this big, you know, big FBI agent or whatever, and then he gets just dropped off at the place. He's like, nah, you know, thanks, man, you did enough. Like, I loved that. That, like, got the tone of the book so perfectly of, like, no, I'm in this now. And then, you know, Butcher being like, no, I'll just check you later, man. I mean, we probably won't ever see each other again. I mean, they do, but it definitely, like, that's the tone is... super here, the Seven are sexually and, like, you know, sadistically perverted and wrong. They have no real problem killing people. They're not heroes in any way. It's all facade, a fake, you know, a fake mask for them to put on for the public, for them to make a ton of money. And in turn, you get to tell this really funny. It's very funny. I mean, it's sick and twisted, but it is really funny at the same time.
Yeah.
I just want to say the character in the show of Billy Butcher, the Butcher, nerd royalty, Carl Urban. I mean, that man has been in Lord of the Rings, Dread, you name it. He's been a priest.
He was in you know, he was...
Star Trek.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he one of, like, Thor's back people for a little bit or something in one movie?
Yeah, he was the...
You know, whatever, the Warriors 3 or something. He was
the guy in, what was the Ragnarok?
Yeah.
With the gun. Dest and Troy.
He's been in everything. He was in the original Doom.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so a bunch of ones, but
he's like nerd royalty. He's been, if there's a nerd franchise out there, he's been involved.
And
Star Trek, you know, he's been in it all.
Yeah, he's Scotty from Star Trek.
McCoy.
Yeah. But yeah, so overall, the show, you finished it. I know that you're about to crack into this. What did you guys think of the first season? What do you rate it? And, you know, are you excited for season 2 that they did announce it already?
Not going to give anything away, but the last episode of season 1, the very last, like, 5 minutes of it, I was like, I'm like, I can't wait for it to come. I want to know what the heck happens. I have to see what happens now.
And this is a rare reaction for Ken, everybody. Like, I always joke that he writes the shows because he knows usually what's coming up or will guess it. So the fact that he was, like, caught off guard and flabbergasted was kind of refreshing and awesome.
It totally caught me off
Got a
guard.
chuckle out of that.
That's great.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to kick it back to our old school rating system on the 6-pack.
Yep.
And on this show, I mean, I'm going to have to buy an extra one and give 2 extras and do an 8 out of 6.
Damn! 8 out of 6.
8 out of 6.
Nice.
And it was great. I mean, Homelander is just so campy and over the top.
Exactly.
And I love that. And he's dark and twisted, but other moments he's like Steve Rogers with a cape. It's so great.
Yeah.
He's like Captain America.
I mean, it's like that. I saw a meme about it that showed like Superman, and it's like it said what America thinks they are, and then it showed a picture of Homelander and said what America
It really is. And it's true.
It's
true.
So yeah, that's. But yes, I agree.
So is Starlight in the comics as innocent and naive coming into it as she was on the show?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like this is her right here.
Yep.
So you know you can see on this cover. This is 15.
she's wearing that new costume.
So she's wearing the costume that she didn't want to wear, you know, with her tits out. And then, but she's seeing two people, you know, have sex, one of them being the Homelander on the cover. And that's what she's walking into. So, I mean, even from, I mean, in the, you know, she sucks off the deep. And then in the first episode. So it's like, you know, I don't know. It's
It's
so
a very
crazy.
Me Too movement.
Yeah,
moment.
totally. Oh, I mean, it's fucked up. And that's not why you enjoy it. You enjoy it because all of these people, by the end, they get kind of what's coming to them.
Yeah.
And that is the fun part. And Billy Butcher is a great character. So 8 out of 6 is totally doable. I mean, Garth Ennis, I love him. If you guys remember from way back, I mean, I loved him on The Punisher, Max. I've loved him on Preacher. I loved him. I mean, just he's a really legendary writer. And this is one of those legendary series that he did. A series where he got to pick the same artist in every one, Derek Roberson. And it's just like, I'm so happy that this is around and now getting like this rejuvenation because of this show that's on Amazon. So I haven't finished the first season of the show. I'm only on like episode 3. I'm right in the middle of it, and it takes me a long time to finish TV series. But I have finished all these books, and I would definitely give this book this series as a whole a full 12 pack. It pushes boundaries of comics, pushes boundaries of superheroes, and it pushes boundaries of what even the viewer feels is appropriate or necessary or shocking or gross or over the top or disturbed. And you know, like, I like those kind of stories that really push it to the limit. I mean, it's super gory. I mean, look, this is the Homelander. He's literally like eating a human heart on this cover. This one's 40, so you got a little ways to go, but I mean, it takes a turn for the worse, let me tell you guys. But yeah, definitely, I definitely give it the full 12 pack out of 6 beers. So that's a really good
That's a
score.
double down there.
Yeah,
Daily
it's a
double.
It's a double down. Yeah, definitely.
I'd probably have to go along with John, and I'd give it 8 out of 6 by the extra 2. Definitely worth it. I really enjoyed it, and the show anyway. I think the acting was really good in it. Amazon Prime did really good with it. You know, it's a little bit more adult, so I mean, definitely not something for the kiddos. Lots of sex and gore.
Yeah, I mean,
violent
they're
content.
dropping dong and, you know, the first episode. So
And I mean, there's some really dark stuff going on in there that you're just like, what? I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, all right. Well, that's The Boys, guys. That's The Boys TV show. Check it out. If you got, you know, a comic shop, go and pick up the old single issues or pick up the trades and, you know, read The Boys or watch The Boys, right? Boys?
Exactly.
And if you're watching the show, be sure to watch out for Pop Claw.
Oh, Pop Claw. That's a little tip from the A Comic Book Look Boys. All right, guys.
One of the most disturbing yet kind of hilarious but gory scenes all at the same time involves Pop Claw.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh man. Well, those were our thoughts on The Boys, and I have not ended a show in so long.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What do
rusty
you do?
as hell.
Exactly.
I don't know. But anyways, you guys, those are our thoughts. If you guys do have other topics that you want us to talk about, send us a note. A comicbooklook@gmail.com does still exist.
It's still open. I watch YouTube through it.
I know. That's so great. Otherwise, just send us a tweet at Twitter @ Comic Book Looker. Hit us up on our Facebook group for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys know the drill as always. Have a great rest of your summer. Enjoy it, because out here anyways, we're on to construction and then winter
right.
coming up. So we got kind of a bleak future ahead of us for the rest of this year. But in all seriousness, you guys know the drill. Keep it comics for sure, man.